Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. Welcome, welcome. How are you guys doing? How was the week? How was the week? I want to take a moment, all of you, and give yourself a round of applause for being here with me, for choosing to spend this time intentionally, for choosing your growth, even during something as simple as a lunch break live with me here. How are you guys? Hey, Tim. Mwah. How are you guys doing? Hey, everyone. I'm truly grateful to connect with you every Saturday. I really love our time. Today I'm coming a little bit early. I'm about to do a big sales kickoff in Miami with my day job, right? The cybersecurity company that I work for. I'm so excited to be able to drive this event and design everything and be present with everyone. But I love our Saturdays together, so I decided to come earlier. Uh, it means a lot to me to be a part of your journey and bring you every Saturday a new reflection, tools, practice that support your personal mastery in evolution, to help you grow, and to help you implement some of these tools into your life. But now I'm going to ask you to pause for 30 seconds and share this life with someone that may need a pause, need a new perspective. So please do that so we can help our community over here to grow. And when you are done sharing the life with people, I want you to, you know, take a deep breath in, like and just be in this moment here with me. And also for those that are joining and they are new here, I'm Sinandra, your guide for mindset transformation. And for those that are joining me live or catching the replays, I'm really glad you are here today. And last week, we talked about awareness, becoming conscious about your thoughts, your patterns, your emotions, your habits, because awareness is always the first step for everything. But today, we are going to go deeper. Today is about choice. Because once you become aware, right, you can no longer go backwards or say you don't have the power, right? I don't have power. You begin to realize that you are not just experiencing life, you are creating it through the choices you make every single day. And today I want to step into that power, the power to choose. Yes. And here is a truth that can be really uncomfortable, but is also incredibly liberating. Many people create a story about what's happening to them, and then they replay the story over and over. I think we all did that sometime in our lives. And over time, they don't just remember the story, they become the story, right? They stay in their identity for so long sometimes that they begin to believe they have no control. Like, it's the cancer, it's the layoff, it's that person that betrayed them, right? Uh, and what they miss is the responsibility. We have responsibility where we are today, right? In our relationships and our finances and our health. But here is the truth: you are not your past, you are not your stories, you are not stuck. You get to choose every single day, every single day. You get to choose your emotions, your actions. You get to choose to eat well or not eat well, to be kind or not kind, to go to the gym or not go to the gym. You get to choose your thoughts. Yes, you get to choose how you respond to people. You don't get to choose what happens to you, but what you do with what happens to you, you can choose that. And I want to I want you to really feel this. It may come out like hard, but it does not matter what happens. What matters is what you do with what happens to you. Meaning, for some of us, life will give us lemons, right? And only a few of us make a lemonade with those lemons. And this is where power lives. Because two people can go through the exact same situation, cancer, divorce, abuse, and create completely different realities. uh, One is stay in this story, right? And the other one chooses to rise beyond it. And that choice is available to you, to me, every single day, every single day. And I want to anchor you in something powerful. You and I are exactly where we are meant to be. There is no other place for us to be right now. Even if it feels uncomfortable where we are, even if it feels like messy, even if it does not make sense yet for us, there is something here for you and I where we are. Growth, awareness, realignment, expansion, if you only choose to allow. Quiet your mind, if you only choose that. Life is not random. What you are experiencing right now is revealing something about who you are, what you believe, and honestly, who you are becoming. And when you start to see it that way, you stop resisting the moment and you start working with it. Now, I also know this. Sometimes it's hard to see the lesson when you are in the journey or in the storm, right? Sometimes you need guidance to connect those dots, to shift your perspective, and to move forward with clarity instead of confusion. And one of the things that I learned throughout my journey, my personal development, we are not to do the personal development alone. And that is exactly why I create my vision and a strategy session for 2026. All my programs are around this. This is where we go deeper, where we look at where you are today together, what patterns are keeping you stuck, and we realign your mindset with the vision you actually want to create. It's not just motivation, it's clarity, structure, um, intentional transformation only happens when you are structured and grounded inside of you, and it starts with you. Hey Lorena, how are you? um Honestly, inside my work and my program, I always focus on rewriting the way you think and respond. That when you are definitely not aligned to who you want to become, like releasing limiting patterns and emotional blocks, creating aligned habits that really support your next level, and stepping into a version of you that leads your life with awareness and purpose. So if you are feeling like you are in the moment right now where things don't fully make sense, this might be your invitation to explore it and take a deeper, view, and I'm here. I would love to connect with you. My information is in the chat. Um, because to me, sometimes one conversation can shift everything, right? Another reflection I want to today share with you is that sometimes I have been thinking this a lot lately. We find ourselves in environments because I had a lot of clients that brought this to me. Um, we find ourselves in environments that feel heavy, right? When we look around, the people, sometimes we ask ourselves, why I'm doing here? This energy feels off. This is not aligned with me. And our first instinct is to want to leave, to want to escape, to want to disconnect. But we don't pause to ask, what if I'm here for a reason? Right? We never think about that. If something is not feeling well, we want to pivot and escape. What if instead of reacting to the environment, I became intentional about how I show up in it? How about that? That's a perspective that I want you to carry with you. Because when you start seeing life from this perspective, that you are always being guided, that you are grounded within yourself, then even when you are placed in chaos, competition, fast paced environments, or situations that feel out of balance, you stop asking, how do I get out? And you start asking, how do I need, who do I need to become here? Right? When we look at the world today, I think we can all agree that we can we all could use some more peace and compassion, right? And this is powerful because sometimes your role is not to escape the environment. Sometimes your role is to be the peace in it, right? But we don't always like that or are open to play their role, right? Because we want our external world to reflect the peace first, right? We often say, I will calm when things calm down. I will feel good when people change, when my boss is nice, when my boss recognize me, when my selfish coworker get out of my way. But that is not how transformation works. You bring the frequency high first, right? And sometimes you are placed in certain jobs, certain relationships, certain communities because your presence brings balance, clarity, and peace. Let me share this with you. Sometimes the best option is to stay in a heavy environment so you can balance the energy in that space. That does not mean you will tolerate everything. That does not mean you stay where you feel disrespected or unsafe, but it does mean not every uncomfortable place is wrong for you. Some are like assignments for your evolution. My grandma used to say something to me that was my cue. What would Jesus do in this situation? That was my cue to look things in from a different perspective, you know. And I want to be real with you, right? In relationships, maybe you are dealing with someone reactive, emotional, inconsistent. You can choose to match their energy, or you can choose stability. You can choose emotional regulation, or you can choose clarity in communication, and that makes you become the standard, right? When you look at money, maybe you have experienced financial stress, I was laid off. I experienced a lot of this in 2025. Uh, right there, I had to learn that I can choose fear, scarcity, and to panic, or I could choose awareness, discipline, and empowerment. So, same situation, different outcome. And if we look at your career, maybe you are in a fast, competitive, and even chaotic environment, and you can get lost in it, right? Or you can become grounded in it, within it, right? Um, you can bring organization, leadership, and calm thinking, and suddenly you are not just surviving the environment, you are influencing it, right? So that's something to think about and to carry with you in this week. When we look about leadership and responsibility, that is your to drive, nobody else. So you can choose those. Many people are placed in important roles in companies, families, communities, not just to perform, but to stabilize, right? To elevate the energy of their specific space. But if you are not grounded, you miss the opportunity. You get pulled into the noise. Uh, you react instead of lead. And the environment stayed the same, going through the same loop. Um, so today, as you move through your weekend, I want you to pause and ask yourself, where in my life I am giving my power away, and sit with that. Instead of leading myself with intention, sit with that. Where am I operating on autopilot instead of consciously choosing how I think, feel, and respond? I want you to just pause and let those questions guide you this weekend, because the truth is, in the moment you shift out of reaction and really begin choosing from your inner power, everything changes: your perspective, your energy, and the results you create. And most importantly, ask yourself, who do I want to be regardless of what is happening around me? Because that is your real power. Not control over life, but control of yourself within your life. And as you walk in your weekend, remember this: you are guided, you are supported, and you are exactly where you're meant to be. Um, even here, even now, I see like DMs. I see DMs saying, I'm in a hospital bed, I lost my job. I know it's hard because I was one of those people, and everything in our lives are honestly temporary. And after this conversation today, this new perspective that I shared today, choose wisely your thoughts, your emotions, your responses, because as you evolve in your journey, that is what creates your reality. If this resonate with you, this conversation here today, this Saturday that I want to come, I didn't want to miss being with you, please share, save it, and take one of the things that I told you today and apply in your life this week. Remember, you are your biggest product, and everything starts with your mindset. And if you are ready to take you to the next level, DM me. I would love to work with you. Um, and remember, you're not meant to do your personal evolution alone. My information is in the chat. Follow me on Instagram for daily mindset tips, and I will see you next Saturday. But next Saturday is going to be 1 p.m. Okay. Have a great weekend and a great week ahead. Bye bye, guys. Thank you.